Dale Earnhardt Jr. is our Coors Light pole winner for tomorrow night's 55th annual Federated Auto Parts 400 here at Richmond International Raceway. He drives the number 88 Diet Mountain Dew National Guard Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. And Dale, congratulations on getting the pole here at Richmond. You got to feel good about that. Talk about your race car and talk about what you're looking for here tomorrow night.
Yeah, the car drove really good in that qualifying run. We've been working over the last 2 years to improve. We weren't very good last year in qualifying all season, and this year we've made some gains, and so it feels good to get a pole position and know that we're improving and doing something right there. Yeah, it gives us a great starting spot for tomorrow. We feel pretty confident about the car after practice today. And this, starting up front is an advantage, and will get us a nice little pit stall too. So, just happy that we're performing well, and looking forward to the race.
Take some questions. Go to the far right. Monty Dutton, go ahead.
Dale, I really appreciate you winning the pole because we ran out of time before I could get my question in earlier.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask it now. I apologize.
Right.
Having such a big year points-wise at this point, it has few tangible benefits because of the fact that the importance of the regular season is being in the top 10. But what I wanted to ask you is that now it does have a tangible benefit once the chase starts. And do you think the benefits of such a consistent regular season will come in handy when it really counts, because it's not useless in the final 10 races?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we could have benefited from winning some more races this year. There's teams that accomplished that and performed better in that statistic than we did. And so I look at those teams as the guys that will be the ones to beat and compete with, the guys that are winning the races this year. But our consistency, I think, is not matched by many teams in the sport this year, and so that gives me a lot of confidence that if we don't beat ourselves or make mistakes ourselves, that we can continue that, and that too will make us a strong opponent in the chase. But I do know that I don't think I can depend on our consistency alone to win the championship. I think that the guy that wins the championship is going to have a few trophies in the chase.
Wins did beat consistency by a tiebreaker.
Right.
Let's go to Lee right here. This is Dale's 11th career pole, and it's your first pole in 212, so congratulations on that.
Yeah, awesome.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. As strong as you have been at this track in the past, are you surprised that this is your first pole here?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I ran – this place reminds me so much of Myrtle Beach, and I ran there so much. That's kind of where I learned how to drive cars. But so when we came here and started racing here with the Nationwide Series, I felt right at home, and we showed that with some wins and good success, even in the Cup car when we first several years here. But since in the last 2 or 3 years, I've felt like we've struggled here, and I really contribute most of that to the fact that they haven't sealed the track in a long time. When they seal the racetrack, that sealer, they just need to seal it once, and we really start chasing that sealer all over the place for a couple of years. They don't have to seal it year after year. And I used to really like trying to find that sealer up in the high groove and really getting that sealer tacky in the race, and then starting to run a high line that would benefit me. And we just really can't widen the track out like we used to since they haven't sealed it in quite some time. But it's become a challenging track to me due to that difference, and it's there's really one way around, and that's right on the bottom. But when they used to seal it, we could chase that sealer up the racetrack as we wore the sealer away, and we'd be all over the place, really, trying to find speed and going really high in the corners to try to find speed. And there were some pretty epic battles at this place. But So it's changed for me as a racetrack and become more challenging. But yeah, that is a bit surprising that I haven't had a pole here ever, considering that I do count this in the top 5 or top 10 of my favorite tracks.
Other questions for Dale? Bob, and then Nate.
Bob Hocker, Sporting News. I mean, as far as the decision on Pops, does that weigh in your mind at all? I mean, you talked this today about being so relaxed and but I mean, having to part ways with somebody whose family, I would think, would weigh on somebody's mind a little bit.
Yeah, it was tough. It was a difficult decision that we had to make, and as a team, as a company, we just felt like that we wanted to make some changes. And I was telling Jeff earlier, the environment for our nationwide team, and I'm sure a lot of nationwide teams, is so different than what we have in the Cup Series. And in the Cup Series, you have commitments that stretch over, years, and you can really map a future further ahead than just 12 months. And in the nationwide series, a lot of our programs are structured over single years, and you re-up each year and renegotiate each year. And we're in a bit, every year you don't really know what February is going to look like sponsor-wise, whether you'll have one full-time sponsor over an entire team, whether you'll have 3 or 4 trying to outfit one car, trying to get that car to the racetrack. And during this kind of time of transition, we felt like we wanted to make some gains or make some changes and try to do something different, try to improve our company, our team. We need to do something directional that's different than what we're doing. And this is one piece of that. I think that there'll be some more things we'll do to try to become a better race team for next year. And there's a lot of moving parts and missing pieces that got to fill in the the sponsorships and so forth that got to fill in the gaps to let us give us a better idea of the direction we want to go. We can't really choose. You can't sit here and say, man, we're going to run 3 cars next year without a 3 full cars fully funded. You can't just make that decision. You have to wait until all the things kind of play themselves out and people make their commitments to you to decide, all right, this is what we got. This is, you look at your employees and you say, oh, we're going to run 2 full cars or 1.5 full cars. You don't know that stuff until January. And so it's really difficult, but it's a different, even in the last 3 or 4 years that series has become more of a challenge. But, we want to be there, and I enjoy what we do in that series. I enjoy our efforts there, and I think the change with Pops was really difficult because he's meant so much to me and in my career and to me as a person. But at the same time, we want to try to see if we can change our performance level and change a bit of the culture in the shop and see if that helps, see if that gets us going in a different direction, in a better direction.
Go ahead, Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Day. Dale, the mantra from you and Steve coming in here obviously was just going to be laid back and not worrying about points. So much of your success, though, this year has come from when you guys have been so eye on the prize and so focused. But does this tell you something about your team, that when you guys can just be relaxed, that you can do this well, that you can rip off a pole at a track where you've never qualified first? And
I was surprised as anybody. But, I knew we had a pretty good car, and we ran a really good lap in practice, and you just never know till you line them up. We got a great draw going late. But, I think, like I was saying earlier, I think being smart and using your head and being a thinking man and staying calm is what's going to suit me the best in the chase. And, there'll be times where I got to, there'll be times on restarts where you got to get the whip out and get yourself geared up and take advantage of some people on, certain situations on the racetrack. But for the most part, over the, process, I think, being calm and being relaxed and confident is the best scenario for us. And that's really how we feel this weekend. Since we got to worry about points, we really just kind of focus on the car, the components, and trying to make the car better. And there's no outside pressure or pressure that we put on ourselves really at all this weekend.
Dale, thanks for coming in. We
Appreciate
certainly
it.
wish you good luck here tomorrow
Thank you.
night, okay?